Got a sales tip for you today. I have a true story where I was on the receiving end of a sales presentation. And so I want to discuss how the salesperson could have done better, though I'm certainly not an expert salesman by any stretch of the imagination. First tip: if this was a sales conversation, I shouldn't have said that last bit about not being an expert. Just keeping it real. My basic tip here today is if you're selling something and you're talking to a prospect, one-on-one, whether it's face-to-face, over the phone, instant messaging, Zoom, whatever. Listen to what they're saying, and you can incorporate that into your presentation or what you're saying back to them. Now, here's what happened. I was chatting with someone on Facebook about business in general, and he asked me if I drink coffee. And I said, no, not at all. I don't like coffee at all. Don't drink the stuff. Then he went right into a pitch for this direct marketing company he's in that sells coffee. And I said, well, since I don't drink it, it wouldn't make much sense for me personally to join something like that, knowing that I wouldn't be able to use the product and tell people how good it is. I don't think there's anything wrong with that if somebody else wants to do that. But it's not really for me. I would rather join a company where I'm going to use the products, and I get excited about them and tell my story of using them. So that's not for me. How could this guy have done better? Now, I probably would have screwed it up myself the first time if I were in his shoes. So, I'm not trying to criticize anyone. I'm just trying to say, how can we learn from this? First of all, he could have just not even asked the question about whether I drink coffee, since most adults do drink coffee. He clearly didn't care about my answer, so why ask the question? He could have just said something like, I'm with this great company. The product is coffee. People love the product. It's a great opportunity. Would you like to hear more about it? And then I probably still would have said not really, because I don't drink coffee. There are people who don't drink coffee yet still might want to hear about the company anyways. And he would still be able to talk to them further about it, since he wouldn't have gotten them to say no right away. Generally, when you're trying to sell something and the prospect says no to your question, that's a bad sign. So that's number one. Now, here's a few things he could have done if he had asked that question and I said no. He could have said, okay, I understand you don't drink coffee yourself. People who do drink it love the coffee this company makes, and it's a great opportunity. Would you like to hear more about it? Or he could have said, I know this isn't for you since you don't drink coffee, and I wouldn't ask you to try to sell something that you don't use personally. Do you know anyone else who loves coffee and might be looking for an opportunity like this who you could refer to me? And with that one, he might get some of the non-coffee drinkers to say, if it's that great, even though I don't drink coffee myself, I might still be interested in being a distributor for it. If you're telling me other people love it, you've tried the coffee yourself and you like it, then maybe this company is for me, too. You know it's probably a good product. So, don't ask the question at all, or ask for referrals, or ask if the person would be interested in hearing about it anyways. Any of those options would have been a better choice than to ask the question, then ignore my answer and just keep going on like I hadn't said no. It kind of made it look like he wasn't even paying attention to my answer. So, that's a little sales tip of the day. Listen to your prospect, and let that guide you. See you in another video.